All right. Hello, everybody, to another week of the local marketing mastermind, masterclass, whatever we want to call it. An opportunity for us to talk about some of the great things going on in local marketing with an actual local business. Now, before we get started with anything today, I can see a bunch of people are in here already. So please feel free to jump into that chat and give me a 1 or a hello, or let me know that you can hear me right now so that I'm not talking to myself. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me, and then we'll get started in just a second. We'll do a little bit of recap. We'll see how the week went with some of the marketing things that we've done, and then we'll talk about YouTube and what we're doing there. So Dale says he can hear me fine. That's good. Mike, Pete, Steve, Dana. Anybody else? Let's see. Make sure a couple people more can say that they're here and say that they can hear me, and then we'll get started. So we got a lot to cover this week. We'll talk about a lot of different things. So anybody else? Come on. Don't be shy. Say hi. There we go. Lawrence says he can hear me as well. Okay, good. So we're going to jump right into this because we want to we want to respect everybody's time and get it. I know my background is overly bright. I know. Here, let me fix it. Give me 1 second here. Webcam settings. Boom. Oh, that's even worse. Guys, get the close-up view. Let me fix that. It's funny how different programs seem to process the video a lot differently. Boom. Okay, wait, maybe, no. Oh, wrong camera. There we go. And there we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So again, we're not here to look at my face anyway, but there we go. That's a little bit better for you, hopefully. We're going to be jumping in. So we're going to be jumping into the screen capture anyway. So it's not going to matter what I look like right now because we're going to be jumping into that. But we're going to talk all about YouTube and how we're using it in a few different ways to get things going here, and hopefully get some ideas out of this and that you can take back to your businesses and start implementing them for your clients or your own business, however that happens to work. So let me switch over to my screen here so we don't have to stare at my beautiful face the whole time. And there we go. I'll even turn my camera off there. All right. Okay. Dale, Lawrence, Steve, Lawrence, Dale, John, Mike, Peter, Dana. Are we ready to get moving and talking about YouTube today? Before we talk specifically about YouTube, let's give a little bit of a background. Mel, good to have you on here as well. When I got started with taking over this business, we did not have a YouTube channel. In fact, I'm going to make some changes right here because I've learned some things since I put it in. I actually created the channel the week before we purchased it, knowing that it was going to happen, or at least hoping it would happen. We put the YouTube channel together and started putting things into it in the hopes that, things didn't fall south and waste our time. But you know what? We wasted time. It was my time to waste. So we did put one together. We have learned a few things, so we're actually going to make some changes in here as well. But for me, for the local business, I felt YouTube was going to be one of the more powerful things for this because it is a very visual medium. We could do a lot of different things that we'll talk about. But let's talk a little bit also about where we are in regards to sales and things like that. So I'm going to open up in our business here. We use a product called Fair Harbor. And what Fair Harbor does is this runs all the back end stuff, the bookings, the sales, and it helps us to take care of that. So I'm going to put in my business here. Oh, let's try that again. All right, and there we go. And that's going to take us inside. And these are our booking sheets here. So let's go back. I want to go back and show you some of the changes that we had. We had another big Saturday. 2 Saturdays ago, which was the first week that we took over, we had a huge Saturday. We blew away my expectations by far. This past Saturday was also very, very good. But I want to show you what some of the things that we've done probably has done to help us out here a little bit. So I'm going to go back to Sunday the 12th. Now, this is literally days after we took over. We'd hardly done anything at this point in time. And if we look at our manifest here, we can see, well, we only had, I don't think that's right though. Hold on. Let's go back here. The 12th Sunday. Okay. So we had 1, 2, 3 bookings. Okay. And while we had 3 bookings, it was only 2, 2, and 4. So 4, 5, 6. So we had 8 people the whole day on that Sunday. And one of these we actually kind of convinced to come in. And I can't remember which one it is, but one of these we actually convinced them to come down. They had done a room before and we're like, oh, come back down today, come and do the room today. And we got them to come in. So realistically, from natural marketing, we only had 2 for that Sunday. Well, this past Sunday, after we've been running a little bit of ads, we've been running a lot of social media campaigns and promoting the videos and all that kind of stuff. We actually did a lot better on this Sunday. And so you can see we filled that up a lot more, as we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. But you can see here, we had a couple rooms of 10, but we had a group of 10, rooms of 2, like we did before. We had one of 4, we had one of 10, we had one of 3, and another one of 4. So it was a much, much bigger day than the Sunday before. And, it's still way too early to say, oh, it's our marketing efforts and our advertising, but we can go back in history and see how other Sundays have done. So the 5th, this would be right before. This would be 4th of July weekend, right before we took over. And let's take a look at the Sunday there. And you can see they had 1, 2, 3. They did have 4 on that Sunday. So we beat that Sunday. And if we go back into June, let's see what we did on the 28th. And see, on 28th, we only did 2. And I shouldn't say we didn't own it at this point. This was when the others owned it. And this one here, they had 2. So typically it looks like 1 to 2 is kind of normal on a Sunday. Let's see if that trend continues here. This one had 3, so 2 to 3. And we did 7 and had some pretty big, they had some big rooms here too. They had 5, 6, 4, and 9. So that's pretty good. But you can see that going back traditionally Sundays, Sundays were never a big day. And 2 there. And so we've turned that into a potentially big day because we had 7. What did it look like before the virus? That's a great question. Let's go back all the way to I don't want to do December because that's Christmas time and it'll give us Christmas time. It gets much busier at Christmas time in general, but January might be a pretty good estimation. So looks like 1 on January 26th. Let's see. And then here you can see they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on January 19th. So that's actually pretty good. Let's go back to last year. See if that, so the July 7th of last year. Let's see. So they actually had 1, 2, 3, 4. So they had 5 there. So we still beat that. And the 14th and Sunday, July 14th. Apparently they had nobody, not one person that day because it says none. The 21st, they had 1, 2, 3. They had 4 that day. So it seems to be about the same. They're averaging 3 to 4, but they had the one with 0. So that's kind of scary. Don't want to pay for employees for a 0 day. I think did we look at the 28th already? Yeah, I think that's the one we looked at before. So that one was actually a pretty good one. But overall, Sundays are typically weaker. So the 7 that we had, the 7 rooms, that's actually, much bigger than normal. Let's look into August for a second. I don't want to waste too much time just going through this. Oh, it's September. So September on a Sunday. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4. So they had 5 there. So, and actually look at that was actually a good one because they had a couple of big rooms. But, so it looks like it may have been a little bit bigger before that. But since we've started doing this, we've seen a much bigger increase, which is nice. And on Saturday, which we showed last week, the Saturday, month over month, let's see. So that would be June. So that week in June, they had 3. So they had 3 rooms a month earlier. So we beat that by 4 more rooms. So we more than doubled it. And much more than doubled it from the week before. We sextupled it from the week before, septupled it. Will the report show month over month? Yeah, there are reports that you can do. I don't know them all that well yet. So we'd have to get, I have to learn how the reports actually work before we can really get into that. Well, actually, you can see here, this is kind of cool. You can see which rooms were the most popular and whatnot. Not that that matters to what we're doing today, but it's good to see that. Beach Escape still is, this is their oldest room, and it's still the number one room. It beat out the newest one by one, which is interesting. So there you go. So that's kind of the state we're at now. So the Sunday thing we actually did bring up. We only had one on that Sunday before, and we brought that up to having 7 of them. So that's a really, really good thing. So YouTube, a big part of that. Yeah, Pete says Forbes 500 list before long. Well, I don't know if one escape room's ever going to get there. Maybe one of the bigger ones that has 10 locations or what have you will do that. But this is the channel that I put together, and I kind of put it together very quickly. And there is something that I definitely want to fix right away, and that's actually this right here. In a lot of the stuff they do escape plan GA, but in reality, in Google and whatnot, it's listed as Escape Room Georgia. So I'm going to want to change this and change that to Georgia, which we'll do in just a second here. But as you can see, this is my view. As you can see, we got a video here that's featured. Now, if you're here the first time as a viewer, you're going to have a trailer here. Now, the trailer that's in here is just one of my videos. I'm actually going to shoot a specific trailer for this channel. And what a trailer is, it's the first video that they're going to see. It's going to be big. It's going to be right here. It's going to have information on it. And what I'm going to do with that trailer is I'm going to welcome them to the channel and let them know who we are and what we do and why they should come in. So it's going to be literally a trailer for the business, kind of like a trailer for a movie that gets people to come in. That's exactly what we're going to do there, is we're going to make a trailer that will go in there. Right now, we're just featuring one of the videos. So when you see the trailer, it's just this video here, which is a commercial that they kind of put together a while ago. Yeah, and Lauren says, I see you have reviews going. Yeah, we do. We've got reviews running. And actually, we've seen, I was on the phone with somebody yesterday, and we popped it open, and we had like 70 new interactions on our campaign that we put out. So we did a Rep Kahuna. We reached out with Rep Kahuna to all the past customers and asked them to give us feedback, and we've actually had 70 do that. The only thing we've got to increase is, although the idea behind Rep Kahuna is to get people to come and leave feedback for you and give you the 5-star rating. And then it asks them to put it onto YouTube or onto Google or Facebook. And not a lot of them are doing that right now. So I may have to follow up and say, hey, we got your great 5-star review. Would you mind putting it on Google? Because they weren't doing it based off of just that. So in here, again, we'll have the trailer at the top. I've got Escape Plan Georgia customer reviews. And what I've done is I've used Rep Kahuna, Rep Videos to create all of these reviews here. So we took reviews from Google and Facebook and Yelp, and we've turned them into videos. And if you're not familiar with Rep Videos, I'll kind of show you what that is. So and I'll pause it so we don't have to listen to it. But it starts off with the information here, and then it goes into a person that is leaving a review, that's like the spokesperson for it. They're going to talk about how, we love our customers and we love to get reviews, and check this out. Now you'll notice that she's actually standing in our lobby. And the reason for that is in Rep Videos, she's actually on a green screen, but in Rep Videos, you can put your own picture in there. And so it superimposes your picture behind it. So it looks like she's standing in our waiting room. And I'm going to go into Rep Videos, and I'm going to put a different background, because this one's actually one of the pictures that we already had around. It's kind of dark. So I think I've taken some nicer pictures. So we'll probably put a different one in here that she can stand in front. And Rep Videos, by the way, just added a new feature where you can move the person to the left or right, so they're not always in the center. And so we may do that as well, so you can read the word escape plan. Okay, so going in, she talks for a minute, and then it shows one of the 5-star reviews. So this is from David H. And it says, I chose their second hardest room. It was very hard, but they do give hints, neat themes, and interesting little puzzles and gadgets. I'd highly recommend this place. Okay. So that's the videos that we can create using rep videos. That's going to allow us to make videos very quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Get them in there. Okay. And then at the end of that, she comes back on and talks again. And then we have a call to action at the end. So they can go to the website or they can make a phone call. And so that's how we can make a lot of content, because one of the biggest problems that we have with this channel is that we don't have a lot of content to use. They have a couple of videos that they made here and there, but most of the videos that are on here now are review videos, because I made a bunch of those and I'm going to make more. Now, they did have a couple of videos that we put in here. I did add my own, and you'll see like this one here is one that I created for one of the stories. And it's kind of a ghostly looking video for the haunting of Camp Rutledge. So I made this one the other day and started running that on YouTube and on Facebook and whatnot. So that's just one that, that I put together very quickly. I also did a little trailer video for Area 51, which is one of our other rooms. Okay. And so you can see that here. This is just literally like a little trailer video. So it just kind of pops up there, Area 51. Okay. And the idea, again, is to get content onto the channel. Pete says, what's the link to the Google review page? I may know someone who will give you a review. So actually, that's a good question, Pete. And one of the things we talked about last week is how to grab that. And I want to go over that again, because I know a lot of people have questions about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to maps.google.com, and I'm going to put in escape plan, Georgia. Okay. And so in here, anytime you want to get a link for a review page for somebody, if you go to the maps and you put it in here, you'll see a share button here, and that's going to pop it up here. So we can copy that, and I will paste that right in here. You go. That's going to allow people to go directly to that. Let's see. Dale says, can you take a rep video and bring it into another editor if you want to add a clip? Yep, you sure can. So in rep videos, you can download the video and then you can bring it into your editor and do whatever you need to with that. What camera do you use to capture your video? Well, actually, for this video here, wherever it went to, this one obviously is all graphics, but the other video, which is in the, no, it's not the suggested. Let's go back here. So this one here was actually built with all stock footage. So this is all stock video. So I didn't shoot any of this stuff. This was put together in After Effects. So we just added effects to it. It was actually not only stock video, it's actually a template that's inside of Envato Elements. In fact, I can show you that. So what's cool about this is when I want to make a video for that, when I go to Elements, The Haunting of Camp Rutledge is a kind of a horror themed type deal. So if I type in horror, okay, and I come down here to video effects, video templates, okay, you can see there's a whole bunch of them in here. So like, look at this Ghost in the Woods. So we can watch this, kind of see what this one is. And so we could take this and we would bring this into After Effects and we would just change the text to match what we want. You know, you've got 60 seconds to get out, Camp Rutledge, whatever. And, you know, this one's not actually that good. Doesn't seem like this one's that great. But point being is there's some good ones in here that you can grab and you can make your own stuff very, very quickly. You don't have to make everything from scratch. So if we wanted to do, like, for instance, if we've got one, maybe we wanted to do a zombie one at some point, you know, we can put in zombie here and you can see there's different ones from funny to, you know, like this one's kind of funny and goofy if we were doing a fun one. And then some of them are a little more dark. So it just depends on what you want to get, but you grab one of these, bring it into After Effects, and boom, you can make whatever you want with that. That's what I did. The Area 51, same thing. That was actually, if I found that with Alien. Yeah, there it is right there. It's called Aliens. So this is the actual template right here that I used for that. And all I had to do was go in and type in the words area, the letters AREA EA for area, and boom, I was done. Well, I'm 51. So I literally changed the word aliens to Area 51, hit render, and I was done with it. Didn't have to do anything else. And so that worked out very well with that. So yeah, Steve's trying to bring me back around. When I shoot videos, I've got a DSLR that I use, and I also use my iPhone most of the time because it's, most of the stuff that I'm doing, it's easier to just grab the iPhone and do it, and the quality is perfectly fine. So that's how I shoot most of that stuff. But I also do have a nice DSLR that I use. It's a Canon, and we got different interchangeable lenses and all that kind of fun stuff. But for the most part, I just use my iPhone. There's no reason not to. If we were doing really high-end stuff where we needed, camera lens effects and things like that, then we would move it up. But yeah, there's no reason not to most of the time. So that's how we built some of that there. And I've got to build some for some of the other rooms as well, so that we can get that out there. And you can see that this one here is new, July 13th. It was put up. It says it only has 2 views. I thought it had more than that now. Wow. That's surprising. We'll have to get some people to start watching that. Either that or it's just not updating. But so that's how we got content up here. This one here, this is a video that I put in here last night, and I put this one in specifically so I could run it as an ad. Okay, so this one here is running as a YouTube ad right now. And you can see it's one that they put together, nothing super great, but it's just the idea is to let people know that we exist, get it in front of them. Okay, you can see it says no views. So something's going on here though, because I know for a fact there's lots of views on this because the ad has already given it some views. So we know there are views on that. So I think they're not updating right now in real time or something. But going back to the channel itself here, let's take a look at what we have. So you can see we've got our banner at the top, and I've got the information in here. I took this banner and I used it for our Twitter account as well so that it matches that. Okay, so since last week, I've gotten access to the Twitter account and access to the Instagram account so I can start using those. And so that's, how we do that. Dale asked if Envato Elements offers a lifetime option. No, it does not. What it offers is a yearly option for $200. You can download and use as much as you humanly can download and use. And I can tell you right now, I used to spend over $10,000 a year on Envato, buying things individually, buying individual music, buying individual backgrounds and individual videos, individual templates. Now I get all of that for $200 a year, and I grab as much as I want. Now, just to let you know, with Envato Elements, it's a little different than going to like Video Hive. It's the same company. You'll see a lot of the same stuff, but Video Hive is going to have a lot more stuff that isn't in Elements. But I've also found that Elements has things that are not in Video Hive. But a lot of it is duplicatable, but it's not like everything's going to be in there. But well worth the $200. I mean, probably the best investment I've had. It saves me, like I said, it saves me $10,000 a year. So that's a very good thing. So going back into here, let's take a look at the channel itself. So again, we've got the banner up here, which we're using in some of the other social medias as well. You can see we've got a link right here that goes to the website. We've also got a link to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and a link directly to their Google My Business, My Google My Business. Okay. And I'll show you how we set that up in just a minute so you guys understand that. But this is a very important part of this. So you want to make sure that you set these types of things up. Here we've got the name, which again, I'm going to change GA to Georgia because I want to make sure that it definitely gets the citation from that, which it probably still will, but we'll want to change that. And then actually, we're going to have to do that on these videos too, because these videos say Escape Plan GA here. Now, I believe on the inside of the videos, it says Escape Plan Georgia, but probably want to change those as well. Maybe not, because it's not going to matter too much as far as a citation in the title, as long as in the description it's correct. So again, trailer video. Now, notice what we have here. We've got what are called sections, okay? Sections are different categories on your channel. And I've got Escape Plan Georgia customer reviews. Now, you'll notice here that we've got text underneath this, okay? And this is done inside the back end of this, because what we actually have here, these are actually playlists that are turned into sections. And so in my playlists, I'm going to put in all the information that I would normally put on a video, because a playlist can rank just like a video. So that's going to give you extra citations, extra backlinks, and extra information. So I make sure that each video has all that information, and then I make sure that all of the what's the word I'm looking for? I just said it a second ago. Playlists also have that same information along with the name, address, and phone number. Oh, hey, Dale, good eye. Dale just said you might want to put a .com on the end of that. Yeah, I might want to do that. Wow. I've looked at that thing probably 500 times and never noticed that the .com is missing. So thank you, Dale. That's something we'll have to do right after this. So that'll be a change we make right away. But coming down here, you can see then we've got one that's titled Loganville Escape Room. Now notice that is a keyword. Okay. Loganville Escape Room is a keyword. And again, we've just got some of the game videos in here. Okay. And really the Area 51 one should be in here too. So I'll probably go in and fix that and put that into this one as well. Then we've got Escape Plan Georgia Escape Rooms. So again, we're hitting keywords. Okay. So this one is literally specific to rooms. This one is more going to be just general videos for the escape room. So if we do things like welcome to the escape room, that would go in here because it's not a game. So it wouldn't go down here, but it would go here. And again, it just gives us another opportunity to put in all of this information so that we can get attention. And again, down here to put in all of this information. So think about that. We now have, I don't know how many videos we have on this channel right now. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we got 15 videos in here right now. 15 videos that have links back to the website. 15 videos that have name, address, and phone number for a citation on Google My Business. 15 videos that have links to Google My Business. And then we've got these playlists that we've created. All of them. There's 4 more here. So that's 4 more opportunities to do citations, backlinks, etc. And that's going to help to build that even further. Okay. So going back to our channel here. So we got more sections here. Now I did add a favorite escape room videos. So what I did was I just created a section in here and found other people's videos to put in here just to fill some content. So it gives people a reason to be here because there's tips and things like that. And then down here is just the default upload, which probably at some point we'll just remove that because it's kind of unnecessary, but just another opportunity to see some of the videos there. But each of these has all those citations and all that information specifically for that reason. Let's see. Dale, do you create the banner inside the YouTube editor? Dale, you create the banner inside of another program and then you upload it to YouTube. So I don't even think YouTube has any kind of creator. They should, they don't. So this was just created in Photoshop, but I believe it was created in Photoshop on my laptop. So I may have to go to the laptop to change that. Maybe not. I might have it on the cloud, in which case, but simple. I'll open this in Photoshop, type .com and just re-upload it and be done. And we can show you how that's done in just a second here. Even if I can't make the change, I'll at least show you how that works. Pete says, please explain again, what's the difference between a playlist and a section? Okay. So a playlist is literally a list of videos that you have. Okay. So if we go to playlists here, you can see this one's got 22 videos in it. This one's got 11, which is Escape Plan Georgia customer reviews. Okay. So if we click on this, it opens up just like a video, except that it has all the other videos in that playlist on the side. And it's just going to play one, then go to the next, go to the next, go to the next, go to the next. So that's what a playlist is literally a list of videos. The way that that's different than a section on your channel is that a section is just a categorized area. It doesn't have to be a playlist. In our case here, it is a playlist. It is playlists, but it doesn't have to be. So you could create a section of all your playlists. So instead of individual videos, you could have playlist 1, playlist 2, playlist 3. In fact, let's do that because we might as well put that in here. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to hit customize channel. Okay. And you're going to come to this view here. And so you can see this is the featured content. And if we go to new visitors, you'll see that this is the trailer. Okay. Not a whole lot of difference between the two, except this one shows a bigger thumbnail. That's about the only real difference between the two. Now you come down here at the bottom, you can see add section. Okay, so if we click on this, you can see that there's different types of content that we can add. So we could add one of popular uploads. So that wouldn't be a playlist necessarily, work like a playlist, but it wouldn't be. It would be all of your most popular videos, and it would be dynamic. Okay, so it would dynamically change this. So if one of your videos got hot, it would end up in here. You can do a playlist of, a section of live now. So if you go live on your YouTube channel, you can have a section where every time you go live, it's going to show you the lives. You can do upcoming live streams, past live streams. You can do your created playlists, a single playlist, saved playlists, multiple playlists. You also can do subscriptions and custom groupings. So playlists are just something you can put into a section. In fact, let's do the created playlists one, because why not, right? And so that's literally just going to show you the actual playlists. And I'm going to hit done. Now, when we do this, you'll notice we don't get to put all that extra information in here, but that's okay. This is just a bonus extra one there. So now we've got that section added in there. Pete says Canva has YouTube banner templates. Yes, it does. Canva does. And also, gosh, what's the other one there that's popular? Very similar to Canva. Most of them do. If you go to Elements, they should have it in here as well under graphics. So if you come into graphic templates and we put YouTube, they should have some of those in here for templates as well. Yeah, there you go. So you can see YouTube thumbnail covers, YouTube channel art. So you can grab those from inside of here. Okay. Yvette says, do you only host your videos on YouTube? Do you ever use Amazon to host? I do not use Amazon to host. I just don't use Amazon. But what I use is Wasabi. Now, Wasabi is basically the same. It's almost identical to Amazon, except it doesn't cost a fortune. And it does the same thing. So here's what I do with videos. I put all my videos on YouTube to get attention on YouTube and to drive traffic to other places like my website. Okay. So the idea behind putting these videos on YouTube is that people find them when they're on YouTube, or they find them in search. As far as the website goes, I don't normally put YouTube videos on my website in important places. And let me explain what I mean by that. Now let's go to the website, which, by the way, I finally last night got access to the website where I can actually make changes. So I've not made any changes yet. Okay, so let's go to, this is the main page here. So if we wanted to have a video on the main page that started off and said, hey, welcome to Escape Plan Georgia, I'm Ray, and we want to have you in, and we've got great games, blah, blah, blah. And I put that up here, that would not be YouTube. And the reason for that is there's too much opportunity for YouTube to shut you down at the drop of a hat, or ban one video, or for your competition to come along and flag your videos and get them taken down. And now when somebody comes to your page, it just shows a big blank spot that says this video was removed for violations or whatever. And you don't want that. So here is where I would put, in your case, if you're using S3, this is where I'd put the S3 video, or whatever, player platform I wanted to use. In my case, I use one called, here, I'll show it to you. I use one called Video Geyser, which is, I know it's open because I was using it earlier. There it is, it's in the end here. So I use this. This is Video Geyser. And the way that this works is you connect your Amazon S3 or your Wasabi account to Video Geyser, and then you come in here and you upload your, and of course it's going to make me log in. Give that a second. And so once we log back in here, when you do that, you hit the upload. Come on. There we go. So when we hit upload here, you would upload through Video Geyser, but you would actually be uploading to S3 or Wasabi through this as a front end. And I think Video Geyser has been having a little bit of troubles today because it's been running slow. So you'd click here, upload your video into their system, and then that's going to, when you choose that video, it's going to upload it into here, but it's going to be putting it in Wasabi. So Wasabi is where it actually is located, and Video Geyser is just the platform for managing the videos and creating the player and things like that. No, it has nothing to do with Mike Koenig's. Mike Koenig's was Traffic Geyser. So totally different platforms, totally different people. Okay. And so you can see this, and this allows you to organize your videos. So you can organize them by folders and things like that. And so you can see we put a lot of videos into here. There's literally hundreds of videos that I've put in here. But yes, you can do that directly with S3. YouTube for me is a marketing platform, not a video platform. And I like to keep that, to make you understand what I mean by that, is it's a marketing platform in that we put videos on there to get attention and to have people find it in search. On our website, we don't use that as our video hosting service. Now, there are exceptions to that, and there are reasons why you want an exception to that. So on this main page, I would use the S3 or Wasabi or what have you, not YouTube. If we came to one of the pages here, we're definitely going to want to add videos to these pages. I would not use YouTube here either. Okay. However, because having YouTube videos embedded on your site can actually help your videos to rank better, you want to have those videos on the site somewhere. So for instance, we're going to be creating a blog on here. So for the blog, I would use a YouTube video, and that would allow it to be on the page. It would show that it's embedded on the page, and that would help the videos, and it would also help that page. So both of those would get mutual benefit. And if on your blog, for whatever reason, that video gets shut down, it's not as big a deal. It's not mission critical. Maybe in an FAQ page, like they got FAQs, maybe put FAQ videos that are on YouTube. So that would be an appropriate place to do that, to link the two back and forth. Maybe even have just a section here that says videos. And that could be YouTube videos, because if they get kicked off of YouTube, it's not a huge deal, but you're still going to get that benefit of embedding the videos. But just in what I call mission critical places, like your front page or the page for each of these games, I would not put it on. I would not put YouTube on there. There are exceptions, like for instance, if something happened in Amazon S3 wasn't working and you had to switch to YouTube temporarily, then I would do that. But for the most part, I would not want to do that in there. I would stick to Wasabi and S3 and some of those platforms. Plus, YouTube looks like garbage. The YouTube embedded player has like 852 different buttons on it nowadays, so it looks ridiculous and has all these buttons for people to click away. So short question, long answer, Yvette. And she says that makes sense. Good. I'm glad that makes sense, because I was getting a little long-winded with it, I think. So coming back into here. So again, now we've got these sections in here. If you want to make any changes to this, you would come in here and do that in here. So like, for instance, we got the new visitors. Here's our trailer. We could come in here. We could click this. We can change the trailer or remove the trailer. So once I create an actual trailer for this channel, we would put that in here and replace this one just by hitting change trailer. When you do, you click on that. It's just going to ask you what video you want to change it to, and then you're done. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay. Now, coming in here, we're going to go to the about section. Okay. And this is the other part that's really important. So here, this is where you get to put in all of your information. Now, again, when I created this, everybody was calling it Escape Plan GA, but Google calls it Escape Plan Georgia. So I'm going to change that to say Georgia. And the reason for that is we want it to be exactly what Google says. And to be honest with you, whether it says Georgia or just GA, Google's probably going to see it the same, but I don't want to take any chances. So we're going to do that. We're going to make it say Georgia. Okay. Coming into here, this is where your links are as well. So if we click on this, you'll see the links that we have in here, and you can just come in here and you can add new ones. So if you needed to add LinkedIn or some other site, you can put that in here. Maybe the booking site. If you're working with a doctor or a dentist, you might have a direct booking site that you would put in here. Okay, and that's how you change that. Email, you can add an email in here, and looks like we didn't even add that because I didn't know it at the time. But we do know that it is info@Escape Plan Georgia now. EscapePlanGA.com. So now that we know that, we can add that. Okay. And that's just going to have an email on file that people can reach you. Description. So again, we can come in here and look at this. If we click on this here, it'll allow us to make changes. Okay. And so you can see here, I've got welcome to the first escape game in Loganville, Georgia. Notice that's a keyword. Okay. Then I list very briefly each of the games here, and then I put the name, the address, the phone number, and the website, just like that. Okay. And realistically, I'd put more, but they limit the number of characters that you have. So all of these are pretty truncated, but I wanted to get the rooms into there. And so that's why we did it that way. Featured channels. Now, this is just, you can feature other channels that either you own or ones that you like, things like that. So if I wanted to do Ray the Video Guy, should find that. There it is. So now we can feature this on our channel. Okay. And you can see we already have a few there.
And welcome to my YouTube channel.
Oh, and actually, I clicked over and went to it instead. But let's try that again. Sorry. Ray the Video Guy. Search. Okay. So I clicked on that. We don't want to do that. Just hit done. There we go. So now that's it added into there. And so you can add a few of those. It just builds up your channel and, gets things linked back and forth. When I typed in Video Hive, it goes to Envato Market. Is Envato Market a different subscription than Envato Elements? Envato Elements is a subscription that Envato Market offers. So you would go to elements. Actually, I've got a shortened link. I'll put it in here. Hold on one second. Starting to build a whole bunch of things in here. So let's go to our easy links. Actually, I know what it is. I don't even have to look it up. To get to that nice and easily, it's raislinks.com/elements. Elements. Okay, put that HTTP in there. Okay, so that will take you right there. And so, yes, Envato and Envato Elements. Envato Elements is a subscription that they give you that you can have inside of Envato. And Envato is Video Hive, Graphic River, Audio Jungle, Code Canyon. Trying to think of some of the other ones in there, but they've got a whole bunch of different media things. And the Elements has a little bit of all of those in there. TL, the links to the entire thing, I'll get that to you towards the end. So yeah, you'll be able to get replay to this one and the past ones. So I'll make sure that you guys all have that at the end here. Okay, so going back to the channel here for a second. Again, we got all of our links in here. We got our about information. We got our email in here. And so now we can go back. By the way, if we want to go in, we can go in and change channel settings here too. Okay, all of this you decide for yourself. I want to show the discussions tab, customize the layout of your channel. Yes, privacy, etc. So you can go in and you can adjust that there. Okay. Let's go back here for a second. So inside of here, oops, let's pause that and see so that's how why our channel looks like that. It gives us all of that inside of one area. Okay. So the next thing we want to focus on is the actual videos themselves and what we do with those videos to not only get them optimized, but to then get some attention for them. So here's what I do, and you can kind of follow what I do. So let's open up one of these here, and I'll show you how I set these up. I don't know if that's the one I opened up or not, but it doesn't matter. This is the one I opened up here. Okay, so let's hit show more. So here's how I set this up. So you can see here, Loganville Escape Room, excellent review, Escape Plan, Georgia. Okay. So Loganville Escape Room is our keyword, obviously, for that. So we want to make sure that that's right there in our title. Now, each one of these you can have be a little different. So the next one might say Loganville Escape Room 5-star review or whatever. So make sure that your titles are a little mixed up and whatnot, but that they have, keyword branding. Now, you could also do, some people do keyword phone number branding. In our case, the phone number is not nearly as important. So we may throw that in on a few of them, but not a big deal there. So you can see this one here was put up June 28th. So it's been up for a little less than a month, 350 views, 30 thumbs up. So that's pretty good. Coming down here, again, same thing, keyword, Loganville Escape Room, Loganville Escape Room. And then a call to action, book your escape room game by calling or visiting, and there's the website. And then it says, check out my 5-star review, okay? This is the actual 5-star review that they left. And then down here, now I've got information about the room, about the actual company. Okay, welcome to the first escape game in Loganville, Georgia, blah, blah, blah. And then we've got individual games, information on those. And then down here, we've got the address and phone number. And actually, look at this. I actually goofed up. So we have got a good opportunity here. Now, granted, it mentions, Escape Plan Georgia numerous times, so it's not a major misstep. But what we really want to do is we want to have down here, so I'm going to have to go back and see, it might have done this on a few of the videos, is we want to have the name right here as well. Escape Plan, oops, not Escaper. Escape Plan Georgia, okay? And so now we've got, once again, the name, the address, the phone number. Now, again, we weren't really missing the name because it's mentioned 3 or 4 times, but this is where we want to have it here. So start off with the keyword, a little call to action, the link to the website, and we want to make sure that this link to the website is right up here. So you don't want this to be really long. So right here, book your escape room game by calling phone number and website. And the reason for that is if we go out to the actual video, pause that, you'll notice that all of our work, this is all we see, is just these 3 lines until we hit show more, okay? So if this was later on in the paragraph, they wouldn't be able to click on it. So you want to make sure that that shows up early, that it's right there so that people can click on that. If I had put it down here, if I had decided to put it underneath this, then that would not show up on here and people would not be able to click and go to the website. Okay, so you want to make sure that it shows up in those first 3 those first 3 lines. Okay, so again, then this is what I call the custom information. So if this was a video about one of the games, then we would put specific information about that particular game in here. If it was, I'm going to do some videos on things like, types of locks that you may encounter in an escape room, and I'll show you how the different locks work. Then we would put information about the locks in this section here. Then here, this is going to be pretty much the same on all of them. It's general information about the business, and that just fills out the content. Then we've got the name, the address, the phone number, the website, and then this is that link directly to Google My Business. So this here is our citation, our name, address, phone number, exactly as Google sees it, okay? And that's going to give us the citation that we're looking for. And then this is going to give us the website and a backlink. This is going to give us a backlink directly to the Google My Business. And then these here are some of our 5-star reviews. And we put these in here because now this is a deep link into the Google My Business page. And that's going to help it to rank as well. And then down here, I put a couple of hashtags that make sense with that. So I got escape room, family games, and Loganville, okay? And then down here, our custom thumbnail. So that's how we optimize this. Now, if you want to know how to get the actual review, and I think we talked about this in one of the past weeks, but I'm going to show you how we do that. Again, what we want to do is we're going to go to the maps.google.com, go to escape plan, okay? And then down here, when we get to our reviews, look at that. You can see the first review. Oh, that's because it's mine. This is from 2 years ago, long before we bought the place. So you come in here and hit share, and that's going to give you that shortened link. And then you just go back into your video and pop that in there. Okay. And so that's going to give us those deep links into there, which can definitely be a big benefit. Down here, no, it's not made for kids because ours, in this case, it's not made for kids. So there's no reason to put that it is. Yes, kids can come to our game. Yes, kids can play. That has nothing to do with this part here. The video itself is not made specifically for kids. It's not trying to draw in kids. If anything, it's trying to draw in parents, okay, and adults. And so that's why you put in, make sure you check one of those, whichever one makes sense for your channel, and then put in some of your tags. Not a ton of tags in here. I probably should add more. There's different schools of thought that say put in lots of tags and others that say just put in the most relevant. I've kind of gone in the middle. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you do, like 8 to 15 of them, that's usually pretty good. Okay. Let's see. Steve says, back to GMB review link. Does gather up Google review link generator still work? Yeah, as far as I know, it does. That still works. because I used that not that long ago. Google's made it a little easier to get that stuff, so a lot of times it's just as easy for me to jump in and do that. I think GatherUp also will get you the CID if you ever need it, which is the identification number. And so I use it for that when I need the CID number. Pete says, wouldn't it also be beneficial to write a comment with all of your info in it and then pin? Yes. And that is exactly right, Pete. And I don't think I've done that on this channel yet, which shame on me for not. But what Pete's talking about is when you go into your videos here, what you want to do is after you create your video is you want to come in and you want to write a comment. So in my case, I might say like, if you have questions or are ready to book a game, click here. And then we can put http://www.escapeplangeorgia. And then, or call, and I can never remember the phone number yet, so I just have to look it up. So I'll copy that number and paste that in here. And by the way, if any of you use TubeBuddy, this is one of the things that TubeBuddy tells you to do. So I should have done it already, but like I said, I didn't own the place yet. I set up the YouTube channel, and this is the first time that I've really gotten back in here to do stuff. So yes, that should be done. And then what you want to do is heart it and then pin it to the top. Okay. And TubeBuddy, if you don't use TubeBuddy, you should. It's going to tell you to do exactly that. And it's going to give you, they'll rate how you're doing with your scores on TubeBuddy. And that's one of the things that they factor in is if you did that. So thank you, Pete, for mentioning that. But that's one thing you want to do on all of your videos. So I've got to go back. Fortunately, we've only got, what I say, like 10 or 12, 13 videos, something like that. So I got to go back and add a comment to each one of them for that exact purpose. Okay. By the way, you can also like your own comment if you want. You can also like your own video. There you go. But yes, that's exactly what you want to do. So once this is optimized, so now we got our optimized video, we've got our citations in there and everything else. So what are we going to do to make sure that this video is successful? Well, there's a few things that I do, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the URL of this video. Okay. Now I've already done this, but I'm going to do it again anyway, just to kind of show you. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to want to get some good social and Web 2.0 backlinks. OnlyWire is a very quick and easy way to do that. Okay. Now, there are better programs that are going to do more for you, but they're going to take a little work. SendLab by Josh Zamora is one. SendWire is another one. Those will really start to build those backlinks on there. But just think of it this way, though. Do you need them? And in this case here, we probably don't need that much to warrant all the effort. OnlyWire is going to do what we need it to do for us very quickly. And so we just come in here and hit new post. You paste in that URL, and it's going to pull in the title. It's going to pull in the thumbnail, and it's going to pull in some information. Now, it used to pull in all the information, and somewhere along the line that changed. So what I do is I delete that, and I come back here, and I just grab all of this information, throw it back in there, okay, and post. And so what that's going to do is that's going to take that video now, and it's going to post it to Delicious and Digo and all the different Web 2.0 places that get you some extra traffic and get you nice backlinks. So that's step number one of what we do there. The next thing that I like to do is to go into members.vidpenguin. Okay, and Steve's on here. Steve, oh, what's going on here? Couldn't find the server. Uh-oh. Okay, members. What's going on? Steve, what's going on here? Members. Wow. Something's going on. Uh-oh, Steve, we're in trouble. VidPenguin's not working today. So VidPenguin, what that does is you go into that program, And like I said, I don't know why it's not working today. I know they're in the middle of creating a whole new version of it. So I wonder if that's down while they create the new version. No, it looks like vidpenguin.com is down too. So something's going on there. Looks like their site just might be down today. Steve said he can't get in either. So what VidPenguin does is you take your YouTube URL and you put that into VidPenguin. And what it does is inside of YouTube, okay, so you can see here, this is a shortened link of your video. If you click on that, it's going to take you to your video, okay? Now, when you get to your video, you'll notice that, let's freeze that for a second. That actual video is, the actual video link is much longer right here, okay? It goes to there, so that's watch, V equals, and then the number. So what VidPenguin does is it gets all of the different URLs that will point to your video. So whether it's youtube.be/the number or youtube.com/watch V equals and then the number, or whether it has like this here, it's got feature, and there's basically a whole bunch of YouTube links that will point to your video that are kind of hidden in there. VidPenguin pulls all of those links and then it indexes all of those links on Google so that your video will rank better, faster. Okay, I wish I could show you that right now. Hopefully it's just down temporarily while they're doing some maintenance, because I know they are upgrading to a whole new version of it. So that might be why it's down, or it could just be, you know, the gremlins are getting it. So, and then once we do that, we also create a FeedBurner feed and then put that into there as well. And that's going to index all that. And it can be a big, big help for that. Now, the other thing that I do, and this is another program that I use quite often. This is called Video Viper, okay? So Video Viper, what this does is this helps you to get views from actual people, okay? And so what I mean by that is there used to be these things called video bots, and they were literally just machines that would watch your videos and build up your numbers. Well, YouTube understands that now, and they kill you if you've got bots. They know, they're not stupid. Okay, so they can catch on to bots. But this is actual people watching your video. So basically what this does is this shares your video out to people that are willing to watch your video. Okay, and you can see I run campaigns all the time on this. So you'd come in here and you would run this campaign. So this one, we'll put the URL in here. Oh, actually, let's grab that URL again. Back here. So we're going to grab that URL, just like so. And I'm going to put that into here. Okay, we're going to give this one a name. I'm just going to call it Escape Plan Review for now. You may need to be more specific if you got a lot of things going. And then down here, you're going to choose some keywords. So in my case, we can do up to 3. So I'm going to say Loganville Escape Room. Okay. And then maybe we'll do Escape Plan Georgia for a branded search. And then maybe I'm going to put in Snellville Escape Room, even though, you know, that just may help us to get some people from there. Escape Room. There we go. Right. And then down here, you can choose what you want these people that are watching your videos to do. Do you want them to like your video? Yes, I do. Do you want them to subscribe? Yes. Do you want them to share it? Maybe. We'll do a share. Why not? Add it to their favorites? Sure. Why not? All of these are going to build signals from the people that are watching it for you. And then you can choose how many views do you want them to watch this one. So maybe I want them to watch, you know, 300 of them. Okay. And we're going to choose to be random, both desktop and mobile. Okay. And so what this is going to do is those people, what's going to happen is the people that you want to watch your videos, they're going to search one of these keywords, Loganville Escape Room, and then click on your video and watch the video. Okay. And so we're going to submit that. And that's going to help you because you want to get views as soon as possible. And you want to get a decent number of views as soon as possible, but you don't want to use fake bots. You want to use real people. Yeah. Okay. So Kofi, actually, you brought it up private, but as long as you don't mind, I'm going to say it out loud here. And Dale, yes, Video Viper is Michael's program. That's Michael's program. Kofi says he used to use Video Viper. Now he just spends $5 as an ad. Yeah, you can do that as well. That is just as effective. You can go in and you can get local targeted views very, very quickly by doing that. And that is something that we do as well. And you can see here, I think it's still got it open here. Yeah, right here. Let's get it back open. Okay, so this is one that we just started this one, and it's gotten 40 views already for $4. It's only gotten 2 clicks. That's kind of disappointing, but it is, like I said, it's only been up for a few hours. So we'll see how that goes. But it's got 300 impressions and 40 views for $4. So that's exactly what we're doing there, is the same thing. So you can do it that way as well and get views. The reason that I do the portal one, the Video Viper one a lot of times is because I can put it in there quickly and it just runs quickly. The ads can take a little longer. So that's why I tend to do that. And of course, if either one works fine. And if you do both, even better. And of course, this one doesn't cost me $5 every time I try to do it either. And that's the other part of it, is I'm not going to spend $5 on all my videos all the time. So for instance, like if you look at this one here, this one has 7 videos in it. So I'm going to get more views on 7 different videos for this particular category. That would cost me, $35 to do that. Not that $35 in ads is that expensive, but, multiply that times all these ones that I have open. So we've got this one here probably has 7. This one has 7, 7, 7. This one here, synthesis only has 1, but you add all those together. This one here has like 10. This one here has another 10. So now you're talking about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 of these times 5. So it's going to start getting expensive. So that's why I use this to seed all the videos. Why would anyone sit around and watch videos for Video Viper? Basically because they want to get people to watch their videos too. So it's basically you're watching mine, I'm watching yours type of stuff. That's how that works. But it's done through real people's computers. It's not just some bot somewhere that's doing it. It's done through your IP, so they can see your IP is watching it, different people. Because the problem is with the bots, what happened with the bots is you'd get 700 views overnight and they all came from the same IP, and Google would go, oh, they all came from the exact same IP. Well, there we go. Boop, delete that video. And so with Video Viper, you're watching videos, this guy's watching videos, so it shows there's different people watching the videos. And by the way, Pete, let me clarify too. You're not literally sitting there and watching videos. Your computer is opening the videos and watching it. So it's running in the background. So you can do it like overnight when you're not there. Do you know if they're watching the entire video? They're not, and you don't want that. So what's happening is it's random, because if you had, if all the videos were watched 100% through, Google would go, wait a minute, put the brakes on that. So it's kind of random. So if you put in a video that's 2 minutes long, some people will watch 2 minutes, some people watch 1 minute, some people watch 50 seconds, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just going to give a lot of different numbers. And you can't control that in here. It would be nice if they had a control for that, but the idea is to have it be random specifically so that it's not all the same. What I would like to see if they could add to this would be like a scale. So if you got a 2-minute video, then you could say like, I want people to watch between 1 minute and 10 seconds and 2 minutes. And so it would be random, but it would be 3/4 random, that kind of a thing. But you're just getting views. You want to get those views. 48 hours can be critical towards search. If you're getting views within 48 hours, that's a good thing. Now, in the old days, we used to have bots. We would pay $5 and the next day we'd have 10,000 views. for a plumber, you might have a plumber that's in some town of 3,000 people and he's got 10,000 views overnight, all 100%. That's going to be a red flag. That's not going to work out well for you. But back in the old days, that's exactly what we did. So the point is, we're doing all of this because we want to build up a strong channel. So now when we upload more videos, they're automatically going to do well. Now, is it working? Well, let's take a look and see. So if we go out to, let's just go out to YouTube here for a second. And if we put in Loganville, escape room, you can see they all show up. Now, granted, there's nobody else going after that keyword, so we should show up. Okay. Pete, I will get it for you. Pete asked for the Video Viper URL. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I know that's the login, but I don't think that's going to help you because you don't have a login. I'll find out what that is. And what I'll do is I'll put it in the members area once I find out what that link actually is, because I don't know what the link is to learn more or to purchase it or anything like that. So I'll make sure that we do that. Do you have any idea if these people are, oh yeah, we already talked about that. Okay, so you can see, they're showing up here really well. Now, again, we don't have any competition. They should show up that well, okay? And you can see some of the ones that I put on the Act Now channel are also showing up in here. But let's go out to Google and take a look and see if we're doing well there. So Loganville, escape room. See if so. Yeah. So there we go. We got a couple of videos that are showing up. Oddly enough, look at that. The Act Now is the one that's showing up here, and then a Daily Motion one. Oddly enough, so that's kind of funny. Now the Act Now videos, we do the exact same thing. So when I put it up on YouTube, the actual YouTube channel, and I go through all these, if I put it up on Act Now, I do the same exact thing. So all the same SEO is happening to both. Okay. And so it's kind of funny that that's showing up there. So let's try a different word. Like maybe we'll switch this around and see what happens here. So escape room, Loganville. We'll see what we get out of that. So this time we're getting one here again. So we're getting one, but it's not showing up as this time it's showing up as an actual link, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, these actually are better for you a lot of times because people can see the phone number and it gives a little more information. Try the word game instead and see. We didn't focus on that with any videos, but it may show up. And so yeah, so we do. We got a couple of them. Oh no, I actually did focus on game on one of them, so you can see it shows up there. Let's do escape game. Let's do Loganville escape game. Probably almost the exact same results. So, and actually we got 3 of them showing up now. So that's good. Okay. And the good thing is, like you can see, Loganville escape game, we show up number 1. We show up number 1 again for not only the main URL, but the one for rooms itself. We show up on Yelp, TripAdvisor, Facebook, the videos, Newsbreak. That's funny. That's an old one. It's they're hiring a part-time game master. That's from, I don't know when that's from, but that shows up there. On MapQuest, we show up, and then somebody else is running an ad specific to that. So, and of course, our GMB information shows up over here as well. Okay, so that's videos. That's why we want to get into videos. We want to make sure that we put as much into videos as we can to get people to learn more about us and to head on over to our website so that we can get those bookings in there. So, Greggy says, all this time he didn't have a membership. I know, right? So when I put this up, I will put a link to that. I'll have to ask Michael what the actual link is to that, because I don't know it off the top of my head. Before we get out of here today, and if you got any questions, throw them out there right now. Oh, Kofi says, I haven't used Act Now. Interesting. Act Now is actually, that's my company, Act Now. Act Now is actually the company that purchased the escape room. And so that's my marketing company is Act Now. So that's why that shows up in there. Because we put our, all of our other stuff in there. All right. So let me before we get out of here, let me make sure I've got, let's go to our easy links. I want to make sure I put the link to the proper for the mastermind, which, oh, and you know what? It was, I remember from last week, we looked this up. So http://www.raiselinks.com/LMM was the link. So if you go to that, because I know somebody, I think it was it Kofi? No, it wasn't Kofi who asked that. It was TL asked about the replays. So if you go to that there, this raiselinks.com/LMM, that's going to get you into the membership program. Okay. In fact, let's go to it so you can kind of see what I mean. I'm going to click on this here. Click on that. That's going to take us to the page to join the membership. Okay. And again, just like these, it's free. There's no charge for that. So if we put in a name, I'm going to put in Zippy, and Zippy's email is zippy@zippy.com. Join us now. And that should bring us right into the program, which is one of the neat things. So you don't have to go to your email first now, which is cool because there is no zippy@zippy.com. So you can come in here and you can see here's the mastermind class right here. Okay. Oddly enough, what this is showing me here is that I've used zippy@zippy.com as a fake login before because we've got other programs in there. So I come in here, local marketing masterclass. That's what the LMM stands for at raiselinks.com/LMM. Here is week 1. Here's week 2. And week 3, we'll be going in here afterwards as well. And you can see we've got not only the replays in here up at the top, but we also have the things that we talked about. So we talked about local analyzer, rep videos, and Bright Social. So we put links to those things in here as well. Okay. And so we'll do that with this one as well. What membership tool am I using, Dale? I am using Everlisten. The best membership platform I have ever used in my entire life. It's more than just a membership platform too. It's kind of like a membership platform mixed in with oh gosh, what's that training site that everyone was so big on a couple years ago? Can't even think of it, but what's the URL to go back there? So afterwards, I think if you use, will that bring you right back in? Oh, no, that doesn't. So what you need to do is go to Raise Bonuses, Raise Bonuses.memberportal. Oh, look, it's already there. .io, and I will paste that in here as well. So once you've got an account, if you go to this link here, that's going to log you into it. Okay. And so you'd go there and you would just put in your login and password, and that'll take you right in. It's got this big garish yellow background, so you'll know you're there. But yeah, so Pete, I use Everlisten, and I've, nothing I've used has been better than that. I mean, it's amazing the stuff that they have inside that program for trainings and memberships and whatnot. Okay. All right. Any other questions about YouTube before we break here? Because I got to go out and one of the things that I was doing was right before we get on here was getting into Facebook here because oh, look, somebody just commented on Escape Plan George's link. Let's see what they had to say. I've been trying to keep up on the Facebook thing. Let's see. So this sounds fun. Let's reply to Caitlin. It is fun. So there you go. So people are commenting on some of the things. This is for the Haunting of Camp Rutledge. Okay. And you can see it's got the book now button right there. So that's what I was working on, was some Facebook stuff. Yvette's got to run. Yvette, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you having you in here. Feel free to join us every single week. So with that, I don't see any new questions popping in there. If you have questions during the week, reach out to me. I'll be glad to answer them for you about Facebook, about YouTube, about anything in between, and GMBs, what have you. Because, at the end of this, we want to use this business as a way to educate others on what we're doing and what's been effective. And so far, it's been pretty effective. So I'm excited about it. And I hope you guys are enjoying these classes. I hope you'll continue to keep coming to them because I think you're going to learn a lot. I know that the first week we had a lot of people here, and subsequent weeks, last week and this week, it's gone down a little bit. So I think people are going to be missing out. There's not many programs that open up a real business and show you everything inside there. So this is kind of a unique experience, I think, and a lot of opportunities to try things, to learn things, and to make mistakes and everything else in between. So Pete says he's pretty sure there's a new review on GMB as well. Well, thank you, Pete. Glad to hear that. We need it. It's funny. I noticed that, some people have said, well, a lot of people said because of the virus that Google is kind of not showing a lot of reviews right away. But I did notice the other day that our review count finally did go up. I knew we had some new ones and it didn't show up, but it did show. Gregory says, can we contact you in the members area? You can, Greg. And I'll be 100% honest with you. There's very little chance I'm going to see it. So the only time I'm going to see the comments in there probably is when I go to post this video, this week's lesson in there, and maybe I'll see them. I would reach out to me on Facebook or phone or whatever. I need to make a more diligent effort to look and see if people are commenting in there. But yeah, chances are I probably won't see it. I would reach out to me on Facebook. That's going to be the easiest way, or text message, something like that. Yeah, Dale says, first time you've seen somebody pull back the curtains. Yeah, I mean, what have I got to lose, Dale, at this point? Because, if anything looks bad, well, I didn't do it yet. We're just starting to do it. So if the numbers don't look bad, we can only go up from there, hopefully. So again, guys, I hope you have a great week. We'll see you next week. If you got questions, reach out. And other than that, stay out of that hot sun. If you're in the Atlanta area or somewhere near, come down to our escape room, and we'll be glad to get you into a room as well. All right, guys, have a good week.